All right, welcome back. We are going to do a little bit of a different video today, if you can't already tell. So instead of working on the Camaro, we are going to be working on the Tacoma, and we're going to be installing a light bar in the lower portion of the grill here. So it's going to be a pretty simple, quick, easy install, but I'm going to walk you guys through it. So LASFIT, LASFIT sent us this 32-inch white light bar for the truck. So here it is. Get all this stuff off. All right. So this little, well, not little, but 32-inch light bar, so it's going to fit perfectly, again, right in the bottom of this grill section here. So pretty much all we have to do is just take off the grill, to my understanding, for the truck. And there's some extra hardware in there, but we'll get that to that later. It's just the mounting brackets for the actual light bar itself. So we have the light bar. Obviously have the harness. It's wired inside the truck. We're just going to be using this simple little setup for now because we don't have the like aux beam or S-pod set up inside for all the different lightings because we don't have that many lights yet. So eventually we'll hook that up, but it's just going to be a simple, you know, power ground, wire the switch into the interior of the truck. And then instead of spending $100 or $70 something on some brackets, I went on Amazon and just got some simple brackets for below the grill that will show to kind of mount the light bar too, so it's nice and sturdy in there. So hopefully you can see. And then we're not going to tighten down both sides completely, so have a little bit of wiggle room, so that when we put the light bar in, we can change it to the exact length that we need to, and then still screw in the light bar. Okay, so come to find out, I didn't have enough room, so I just took this little splash / air duct guide out from this side. I'm doing the same thing over here. Pretty much just pull on this clip. You have a little push clip just like this, that goes right here. So just pop it out, and then you just pull, and then you just kind of got to wiggle through all the other stuff around here and then out. And that'll give us enough room to get in here with our Allen keys and lock everything up. Had a slight issue. So the mounting hardware from LASFIT doesn't really match up, or the bracket really doesn't match up with the size of these, or like the bolts for the LASFIT LED bar. So I just had to make the hole, or the slot, a little bit bigger on the very end, so the other way the bolt actually fits through, and it's the correct bolt size that goes into the side of the light bar. So I already have my light bar down here still, so I'm gonna pick my brackets, mount it back up now that I took this air duct out, and then we'll be able to mount the light bar directly. Use the smaller hardware out of the bag that comes with the LASFIT light bar with this mounting bracket, but we're not going to use these brackets. We're just going to use this because we already have a different bracket, obviously. So just use this and this key. It's one screw, washer, locking washer for each side. So we already have the light bar in here. The brackets are movable. I'm going to do that side first because I tightened it down a little bit and I feel like I have more wiggle room over here. So I'm going to take this, come up from underneath, put it in the hole, and then bring my other finger and hold this here. I'll move the light bar in so I can screw it in. Mounts are in. Get a better view of the light. So they're in. Light bar is connected. Both sides. Have my wire tucked around and up to this hole through there. And then pretty much just zip tied to this little bracket, plastic bracket that's already holding a OEM wire harness. And I'm just gonna run all my wires like any other light bar or lighting accessory until we get the actual setup to control all the lights that we have in the truck eventually. And that's just going to be power, ground, and then we'll do an accessory fuse in the relay box, and then the control or like switch through the firewall already, and then we'll change all that up once we get more lights in the controller. Other than that though, this is how it looks. So you barely be able to see it through the top section of the lower grill there. It is a pain with the little Allen key tool to kind of pretty much reach around through here, this little hole, and tighten each side. So I, like I kind of mentioned before, had each side hooked onto the light bar and then bolted this down pretty tight, and then use the Allen key to kind of go in there and tighten it up on each side. So gonna put back in these little ducts or covers or whatever on each side, and then put the grill back in, and we'll be good to go. Okay, so you can see it's clearly day outside and definitely not night like we originally started, but we wanted to show the difference in daytime with the light bar installed, so you can see it a little bit better than you could at night because you couldn't see it at all. So we're going to show a video right after this that shows before and after at night, but as of right now I just want to show you what it looks like during the day. You should be able to barely see it, if at all, from the camera right now, but you're going to start seeing kind of like a up close video of what it looks like behind the grill, and like some kind of like quote unquote cinematic view of the light bar, just so you can get a close-up look of it. The install, not gonna lie, was kind of a little bit harder than I was expecting. The bolts that we had didn't work right, so you saw we had to make, or we kind of already mentioned it, but we had to make the holes a little bit bigger, just because the bolts that go into the actual light bar were a completely different size than what came with the bracket. So that whole mixture, but any person that's doing it at home with the Tacoma should be able to do that easily, no problem. And then the only other issue was actually installing it on the brackets on the lower grill, because you have to literally get behind there. So if you have big hands, it's going to be a nightmare, but you should be able to do it. Just kind of finagling it as you can. So other than that, here's some of the up close pictures of it. You can see it kind of looks good. It sits a little high with the brackets, but it's a $50-$60 bracket from Amazon, so what do you expect? But other than that, yeah, we've tried it at night already. It looks fantastic, lights it up like crazy. We went with the white instead of the amber, but yeah, it's gonna be about it.